Let's see. For sale, slightly used sports entertainment entity. Cody Rhodes need not apply prior to Vince McMahon? I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. What? I'm sure I don't have to tell you that the WWE has not had a great 15 months since the pandemic locked down sports. And that's because, as I stated before, the bulk of the WWE's income came from the WWE Universe. Not just those who subscribe to the WWE Network and now Peacock. Not just those who bought merchandise online. Not even those who shelled out for the pay-per-views in places the network didn't reach for one reason or another. The main source were the people who paid good money to get into the stands and wave their distracting flags around while cheering and booing to their throats' content. And aside from 2 nights in Tampa 2 months ago, there has been nobody in those stands. And that has taken a toll not just financially, but creatively. Oh, making the Thunderdome was a boost of morale, and having the shows in actual arenas must have helped the writers, but it still wasn't making them money. There's little doubt in my mind that they desperately needed the boon from NBC Universal to stay afloat. But whether or not that was enough is still in doubt. Especially when last week, more superstars were given the heave-ho. Now, Murphy and Ruby Riott were not all that surprising. But one of the shocks was Aleister Black. I mean, he had made a bunch of vignettes with that story of his to make his comeback. He beats up Big E, and now he's gone. And the biggest shock, almost literally, was the release of Braun Strowman. And this after he cut a promo 2 weeks ago telling the future live audiences that they should prepare to get these hands. Now, rumors have flew from hither to thither to halfway to yon about why this happened. Some say it was because of attitudes by the superstars. Others say it was contract negotiations that took a sour turn when they learned that Vince doesn't negotiate. He goes straight to the nuclear option. But one rumor that has floated around is something that I, as a South Florida baseball fan, knows all too well. I've been a fan of the Miami Marlins ever since they were the Florida Marlins, starting in 1993. And I knew that a young team like this would take a lot of time to get good enough to even make a playoff. So imagine my surprise when then owner, the late Wayne Huizenga of Blockbuster video fame, decided that he didn't want to wait to have a championship team. In 1997, he crowbarred open his wallet and bought a lot of star players with a lot of money. He was doing what George Steinbrenner of the Yankees did pretty much every season back then. And we as fans were both shocked and thrilled when they made the playoffs, won the National League pennant, and then beat Cleveland to win the World Series. It was an awesome time to be a Marlins fan. Except before the dust could even settle on that trophy, talk was spread about Huizenga wanting to sell the team. And thus, during the 1998 season, the Marlins had their first of what would be many fire sales. By season's end, the entire World Series team, up to and including the manager, were traded or released. The Marlins went from the top of the world to the doormat of the major leagues, losing 2 out of every 3 games they played. And with the value of the team tanked, Huizenga was able to sell it for a song. And we, as fans, never trusted the higher-ups of the teams again, even after winning another series in 2003. That team took a few years to be traded away, but we learned to cheer the team and not the individuals because as soon as they became good, they would almost promise to be gone. An eccentric millionaire owns a sports franchise, makes a fortune off of it, then starts to release some of its biggest talent that must have been a drain on his own wallet. Oh my God, Vince McMahon is selling to WWE! Sorry. Now, again, it's just a rumor. But it is the one that is getting a fair bit of traction online lately. Even if Strowman and Black reveal or have revealed the actual reasons for the release on Twitter or the like, the legs on this rumor are already running so fast on the cosmic treadmill it could go back in time. And now the question is, if this rumor is true, who would buy the WWE? Well, the most obvious buyer would be NBC Universal. After all, they bought the network that brought the WWE to an even wider audience and made the WWE stock skyrocket. If they can get over editing the past pay-per-views and shows and being part of the so-called cancel culture, I think they could rake in a lot of the earnings once crowds are back in play. Another possible buyer is Disney. After all, they've tolerated the WWE for a few years now, being on Fox after the main mouse bought that up. It could lead to the superstar crossovers in the Marvel comics, and we all know how good Disney are at storytelling. One look at the success of Pixar films, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the Mandalorian series can tell you that. Imagine the storylines they could come up with for the WWE. Though they better not turn any of the women into princesses. Or, hear me out, just like WWE bought up WCW and ECW 20 years ago, it is possible that Cody Rhodes and other investors just might make a bid to incorporate AEW and WWE together. It's not really a far-fetched an idea when you think about it. When Ted Turner was looking for buyers for his failing WCW, Vince jumped at the chance to put the nail in the coffin. And AEW has been looking to choke out a struggling WWE ever since they came into being. With ratings down for Raw and SmackDown and Dynamite scaring NXT into Tuesday nights after winning the Wednesday Night Wars, it wouldn't surprise me in the least if Vince puts the franchise on the market, AEW doesn't swoop in with an offer. But what am I saying? This is just a rumor, right? Vince wouldn't sell his baby, the child his father birthed and that he and his own family raised to the true symbol of excellence in sports entertainment. Triple H wouldn't allow it. Shane and Stephanie wouldn't allow it. Linda, well, she's still out of the loop, so it doesn't matter. But the WWE is not for sale. Unless it will be. Keep checking those one ads, okay? I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, and I'll see you.